Terry Spears, and I'm about to hear. Oh Lord, that bitch. I'm about to hear. Yeah, I'm about to hear a lot of knowledge right now with 19 keys. He's yeah. I'm just about to react to a little conversation she having with Natalie King. I hope I said her name right. The power of detox. I just had to balance myself out real quick. I was going through my head and I was like, man, I gotta breathe. So, what's better than, listen to some knowledge to get you back,
Cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
Did their parents cleanse?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, parasite cleansing isn't new.
Right.
They used to do that all the time until the Rockefeller came around and was like, we don't need to do this anymore. Before, all other countries do parasite cleansing before their kids go back to school, but America. Do you see what I'm saying? And so the reason why you have to clean, the kids are super spreaders. It's bad.
Kids
and
and cats.
Kids and cats.
After that Brandon Mac show, when Brandon Mac was supposed to go to Las Vegas, but he had a baby girl had a birthday party, and he thought he was all good. He wanted a piece of cake. Messing around with them kids, See what happened?
Toxoplasma.
Toxoplasma.
That's why I don't even rock with cats, yo. Like, you're telling me the worst parasite that you can get, and that you're 1 in 8 more times likely to get in a car accident. You have to read, this is your brain on parasites. Schizophrenia, skyrocketed. Like it goes deeper, right? And then this is why I started getting blocked because I was finding too much stuff. And I was like, whoa, like mental health, like whoa, schizophrenia, all these like things are parasites. And then the only way that you can get toxoplasma, the worst parasite you can get, is from cat litter. That's why pregnant women aren't supposed to change cat litter ever, because it can deform the child. Like, there's so many things that goes deep into it. So, and then you get more violent, especially with that specific parasite. But like, I feel like my passion is like parasites, because I'm like, is it you or is it the parasite?
What parasite? Like the cat parasites? Because cats be smacking the shit out other cats. Cats just be like, that's what you said? And just go to just scratching your ass. I'm telling you, I don't fuck with cats.
And when I kind of was conscious of like I can see parasites on people. That big gut that people have.
The parasitic gut.
That's all. And I didn't believe it until, like I said, I have 5,000 people and they were allowed to send the poop. Like I was like, I'm done. Like I've seen baby poop and the mom decided to cleanse no, she did it anyway. I mean, parasites crawling all through this newborn baby's diaper. Like I've seen it all. And then I think the most phenomenal thing that I've ever seen was this guy's gut. He did a parasite cleanse for a month. I'm talking about gone, but they sent like long, like.
Yeah.
And so when I am looking around in America, I'm like, I can see it. I can smell it on, like, it's, yeah.
So that's like, it's basically an alien invasion.
It is.
That we don't even realize. And that's why America's so messed up.
But it's not just the worms. It's the heavy metals. It's the candida. It's the yeast. It's the, it's not just the wiggly worms.
Right.
Right? Like, heavy metals is like a huge one, but the thing is they have a symbiotic relationship. Like wherever you have candida, heavy metals, you're gonna find parasites because they eat those things. Right?
Sugar.
Exactly.
They crave those. And you crave them because they crave them.
Like when people are like, oh, I have to get up at night. I'm like, that's not you. Like that's not, you're supposed to be aligned with your circadian rhythm.
Right, waking up to go eat a snack. Damn, that's the parasites driving you like them little MIB worms inside your head.
Exactly.
Cold, man.
So
I think the first time I learned about worms was when I.
They grabbed me one night while I had some chocolate chip cookies. Man, that's my weakness. I had this about a bed. I woke up, I ate that bitch. Went back to sleep.
Was younger, because we was grown up Muslim, we didn't eat pork. And one of the examples was always go take a pork chop, pour some Pepsi on it on a hot day, let it sit and sizzle, and then you can literally see the worms come out, right? And so, you know,
That
we
really
was getting
turned me off of that
parasites
shit too,
fed to us, you know, during slavery because that was the food. You think
That's
that that
why I
was
don't
cooked
be
properly? You
eating
think that
steak
that was
and
clean? None of
pork
that,
chops.
right? So they
I
were
ain't eat
just
pork
feeding the
chops
slave anything. So when you taking on a
until I
slave
got
diet, you
grown,
taking on a parasitic diet, right? And so this
and I
is
still
why,
don't really eat
you know,
pork chops. I
especially in
only
low
eat a pork
impoverished
chop.
environments, you're not getting the best food, right? You think that they, out of all of the food that they ship around the world, you're not going to get the best food in your local environment if this is a low income neighborhood, right? So you're never getting top of the line. And all of the food that you're eating, you know, this is the reason it's a dull shine in the hood. You know what I mean? Everybody looks like a shade of gray. Everybody's ashy because you don't even have the proper things to intake, the proper minerals, right? The proper vitamins, the proper water, the proper air quality, right? Everything is parasitic to you, right? So when we start talking about mental health and decreasing crime and violence and
Bitch, I'm
domestic
ready right
violences and
now.
all of these
Play
different
with me.
things, you know, you have to
And my
look at
partner
the
on go.
factors in the environment, right? And so then we got social media, right? And the technological age to where we intaking constant garbage and filth and as we consume content and then artificial light. And it just takes our whole body and we're not tapped into that God source. We're not walking around shining no more, right? I just had the conversation with my brother Blue Pill about, you know, men are not as
It's this
vulnerable
camera.
about our
I'm
health,
really like
right? But
shining on
black
some.
men
Like I ain't gonna
specifically,
lie, my
you
skin
know,
clear.
have the worst
It
statistics
might
when it
not look
comes to
like
health
that
in
on the
America,
camera, but if I put
right?
that other
But that's not
camera
even a
on,
stat that's well
I'm like, damn, this
published,
shit air
spoken
clear.
about,
For
or
real.
advocated for whatsoever. And then we don't speak about it, so it's just a silent factor of death. But that's your sons, right? That's your uncles, that's your fathers, right? It's your brothers. That's every man that you see. I don't want to be in an environment where people are sharing a toxoplasma with me. When you say people are
What is
toxic, yes, they are toxic,
Literally.
but that's just the effect. What's the cause, right? So going back to the causes where we are focused on these health things, this actually has a an effect on our wealth, right, and our well-being and our future. But I'm curious to know, as a mother, right? And you said you have a son
6.
at 6 years old. How does, you know, did the health journey start before your son or after you had a son?
After.
After.
Mm-hmm.
How does that, you know, I guess since you had it after, I want to understand, like, how does that go into raising of your child? Especially when you talked about, look, he going to school with other children that got parasites, right? Do you make him aware or conscious of that? What do you feed him? What are the protocols that you take as a mother so that you're mindful of raising a young boy to be healthy, man?
Mm-hmm. And so that's a beautiful question because when it comes to our children, like we have to cleanse them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you this book for free. It contains the exact roadmap that you can use to start a legitimate...
See how white people be lying?
Like, and you literally just said, like, they were feeding the slaves the parasitic food. So we literally have centuries of we have to cleanse, right? And so when it comes to Eli, and his name is Eli, we cleanse seasonally in our family. And I'm like really big into Ayurveda and like doing things with the seasons, but we cleanse seasonally. Like I don't
ain't gonna say nothing.
play about it. And we also eat with the season. I'm really big on promoting that on my page. But
when you say eat with the season, do you mean that you change up your lifestyle diet based on what season we in?
For example, wintertime, I'm lubing up really well as far as like my butters. I'm going to do the thicker butters. I'm taking it easy, just like nature's hibernating. I'm going into myself. I'm being introspective. That's why the whole New Year thing, it's dead, right? So that's really big. And then when I say eating with season, like pomegranates are in season during those times, like certain fruits and vegetables. So we eat with the season. And that's why I love natural grocers, because they'll only have mostly things that are in season at the time. And it's cheaper and it's more nutritionally dense. And so when it comes to my son, I'm really big on like, well, first of all, you can't escape parasites. I can walk barefoot, get parasites. You're not just getting parasites from the food. You can get it from the top water, anything. So the whole thing is making your body inhospitable to these pathogens. So when it enters your body, it can't stay.
Right.
So when it comes to that, it's like we're actively like I'm like really big on the 80-20 because I still want my son to enjoy and not, because I feel like sometimes when you can be so hard, you can cause a eating issue with like, you know, disorders and things like that. But because I'm so aware and conscious, like naturally he's gonna be. So that's why I always tell parents, like, don't ask me how can I get my child? You have to change your whole entire lifestyle. They see that, they're gonna wanna do it. So when it comes to my son, when he does go to school and things like that, and he goes to an expeditionary school, which is like the outdoor learning, very like one-on-one, it's beautiful. I'm so blessed that I'm able to do that, because personally, the way that I move around, I'm not able to homeschool, and I love homeschooling, but it's not practical for us, you know, and
So hold
so.
on, the expeditionary school. Can you
Yeah.
explain that a little more?
So expeditionary school is a way of learning and making like outdoor, like your teacher, the outdoors your teacher, and then not learning in a way of like for their classroom, they don't have to sit down in their desk. They can, it's more creative. I feel like
Right.
expeditionary schools like breed critical thinkers
Yeah.
and learners, and they're able to see like what their interests are. They go on voyages, so they like live off the land for like a week, and they teach them about like what they can do and things like that. And so if he was gonna go to any school, that's what it was gonna be. And so that's where he goes. And so naturally, and I'm so glad, like his school already feeds into what I'm already teaching him. And so I pack his lunch. We have a nice big breakfast together. And then when he comes,
I remember getting in the car with our mama from school, and she like, "Boy, you fresh? You fresh?" You know, the little kids be getting in the car, I'm like, "Boy, y'all fresh in here, boy. Roll the window down. Y'all is fresh back there."
comes back home, we have a nutritional meal together as a family. So, and I'm really close to my parents. So we go home and we cook. My mom is amazing. Like, again, I learned from her. She's the best. Like, she actually transitioned us to a more holistic way of living in high school. So when you say like the health, I've always been healthy, but like I haven't been spiritually there. So now it's all connecting.
I love that, especially because you young, right? And I believe that our generation, I think the interest, you know, it's funny, we're forced to it. Like I said, most of the stories I hear about holistic practitioners and people that get into it is you basically forced into it. There was an ailment, you had to fix yourself, and then you found this passion. And so this generation is going to be very focused on what I call internal cosmetics, right? And it's going to get to a point where even technology is going to show us what we look like inside, right? Where I went to the CES show and they were showcasing where they can do a brain scan and they can show you what your brain looks like, or a heart scan. And imagine you're able to get that for all of it, because, you know, most of the time you see somebody's lungs is on an autopsy, right? And then you determine whether they was living a good or bad life, or they have some sort of ailment, and you got to open them up for surgery. But, you know, having these, what they call wearable technologies, or utilizing these new sensors that we're going to have, I believe is going to make people very mindful of their internal lifestyle and not just their external cosmetics. The external represents the internal, but the internal can be way more messed up, and you might not know externally until it's too late and the doctor's telling you, hey, you have a tumor, you have a cyst, you have cancer, you have all of these particular ailments. So I believe that when people are able to focus on, we talk about inner beauty, but the inner beauty literally being healthy, right? That's what inner beauty should be. Like, you're a healthy person. Otherwise, you know, if you're diseased on the inside, you don't look good inside. You can't see what you look like. And if you don't feel good, you can't look good on the inside. So I'm interested in, you know, creating more technology and curating technology that allows us to have these preventative awareness measures, to where it's like, yo, same thing with like blood tests. I talked to my bro about it. I went and did blood tests. You can do biological tests. You can do all these different things. But I'm deep into customizing, you know, your reality towards you specifically. And most people don't have knowledge of self. So you don't know how your cells interact with things, right? You don't know how your body interacts with certain things. So you may be tired and not know why. And it could be based on blood count, right? They can be based on all of these different factors that have been left up to these scientific and medical terms that the average person don't understand. And only then they tell you, well, consult a doctor. but they're going to make technology the doctor, and it's going to be breaking down the layman's terms, and then a person can consult themselves based on understanding the information. You know, I just think that our generation is going to be a generation that does break that down. And yeah, everybody falls into whatever category of craze that they believe is perfect for their health and that is good for you. But I think that with modern age, you should definitely do your blood test. You should definitely do your allergen test. You should make sure that you're customizing your lifestyle, what works for your biology.
It's so important.
And not just from a general consensus of someone that you like.
Or going on TikTok and thinking that, oh, I'm gonna take this supplement or like this multivitamin. Like, you don't know what your markers are. And so I have, my best friend's a holistic functional doctor. So that's why I'm able to like understand, like, it's so important to get these tests done.
Absolutely.
And because everyone's different and like, you're kind of like trial and error, but like you can really deplete yourself of these nutrients and minerals that you need from not doing the right thing for a very long time. And so I'm huge into like intuitive health. And you have to understand, like, for me, like, just to give a visual or like a feeling for people, it's like if I consume something and my joints start to ache immediately, I know, okay, it's not good for me. Like, we went to dinner and I ate and I welted up. Okay, like, chill. But I'm so in tune with my body. Like you said, most people are operating at 20%. So I don't even know what it feels like to be 100. That's why I call people to fast and cleanse, because you will feel 100 while you do it. My first 3 days are a little rough. And again, if you don't clear your detox pathways, it's going to be a little rougher. But once you kind of break through, you're going to feel like 100%. But I think it's so important to customize and intuitively have those things. But a lot of people don't know how to intuitively do those things, so they don't know what it feels like or what they're looking for. So if people can like literally see, which I love individualized tests. Like, for example, we did a test for Eli, and my son, I don't really talk about him a lot because it's still very sensitive, but there was a time where he was throwing up every single day. And as a mom, you feel like you're doing everything right and you're feeding him right, and he's throwing up every day. His teeth are rotting, everything. And it's like, what? And so she came into our life and we did these individualized testing. And from there, I was able to really heal him.
Yeah.
And that for me was like, that was enough for me to be like, no, like, if you don't know, like, and the right tests, right? Because if you want to do a parasite test at a regular doctor, they'll tell you they're crazy because they only test for 3 parasites. The panel that we do tests for over 40 plus parasites. You have to go to the right people. I love holistic functional doctors. They're amazing because they know the right type of test for our people and not just the whatever they're doing.
Right.
So
that's raw. I you know, it's what it's called informed nurturing, right? You can nurture your child and try to do the best that you think you're doing for them. But when you become aware and you become informed, it allows you to make better decisions, right? So I believe that that's a responsibility that every parent has, right? To be informed, to not just have the heart for it, but then you actually have the wisdom for it.
You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate 19 Keys and Natalie King. I hope I pronounce her name right. For the knowledge that they have placed upon me. They're talking about parasites. It must be a parasite must be attacking me right now because I am done. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm out of here. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. I just gotta go sleep on it.